Yeah, welcome to the Hellraisers Ball. Right here live at Janus Live in St. Petersburg, Florida. And we're hanging out with Heart Brigade, a tribute to Heart. And Kevin Seagrass, lead guitar. And why don't you guys introduce yourselves and go around the horn here.
Wonderful. I'm Susan Jarney. I'm Nancy.
I'm Susie Nelson. I'm Ann.
David Nodine, I play keyboards.
Jeff Reynolds, I play bass.
I'm Amy Hall, I play drums.
See, now you guys rocked it out right here tonight over at Janus Live. Are you kind of surprised at the temperature here in Florida?
Yeah, I didn't think that we were going to have to bundle up to come to Florida.
Yeah, it was cold out there for sure. Last night you guys got to play at the legendary House of Blues in Orlando.
Yes.
How was that for you?
It's amazing. It was like, to me, it was like, oh, we made it.
We've arrived, right?
It just got real.
It's like bucket list check.
It's just a great room, you know, looks cool, empty, you know, and then when you put people in there,
It's got to be an amazing feeling to be up there and see all those people out in front of the stage.
It's such a big stage.
Just to be there. And of course, all this was brought to us by Maximum Bands, a good friend of mine, Rich Rubin, and of course a friend of yours as well. And how did you guys hook up with Maximum Bands?
Is that you?
Is it me?
So now, how did Heart Brigade come about? Who started the band?
Wow.
It's going back about 4 years.
I don't remember really.
it's the two chicks.
Yeah, Amy was a really big part. Everybody told me that I looked like Nancy. I acted like Nancy on stage, and so I was like, cool, great idea. And we didn't think it was really going to happen, and then we found Amy. And Amy has just been so good at telling us what, you know, is accurate, and she just really knows everything about
She's the
Heart.
historian.
Yes.
our
She really
resident
is.
expert.
You're the resident
Heart
historian on
historian.
every part.
I've just been a Heart fan since I was, you know, about 4 years old.
Wow. And so how many people in the band right now are from the original lineup from 4 years ago?
And,
Kevin and Susan.
49.
Very cool. So going on 4 years. And for yourself, before you were in Heart Brigade, you were mentioned earlier you played in some original lineups and also in a rap tribute band.
I was in a rap tribute band called Out of the Cellar, and I played with actually a cover band with another pretty famous gentleman named Rich Wild, who sings for Ruffians, heavy metal band that tours in Europe quite a bit. He's a phenomenal singer and a great friend. And, so we did that thing for a year, and we all sort of moved on and did things. I hooked up with the Rat Band, and that lasted for about a year. And things happened, and you know, all the while this was going on, and this really started to take on a life of its own. So it was time to become a one-band man, and this is the band.
And just
no
dedicate
question.
yourself to,
Yeah.
to one thing.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so outside of, that was my next question, outside of the Heart Tribute band, do you guys have other projects that you're working on?
I do. I have an original band, but it's been together since 2005. It's kind of a slow going thing, but you know, we get together, do some recording.
Now, you've got a really powerful voice, and you sound a lot like Ann Wilson. When you perform your originals, do you find that you pull anything from that influence, or?
Yeah, I guess the influence has always been there. Everything that we write and do, just, it has a Heart-esque-ness to it, but, you know, yeah, I guess I've just identified with her style so much that it feels like it's me. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to be anything but me. It just, yeah. What I do, what I wear, it's not trying to emulate her. It's me.
Yeah.
And I seem to identify with her.
That's great. And I think that's part of what makes it sound a lot more authentic, is that you're not trying to be Ann Wilson. You're just doing what comes natural to you, and it's coming across to an audience as though, you know, it's authentic.
I want to pay tribute and homage, so to speak, to her and the band in general. I mean, they're amazing.
Awesome band, definitely. And the rest of you guys? How about you, Amy?
what was I doing before this?
Yeah, before, do you have anything else going on?
I've done cover bands, originals, freelance recording. Susan and I have a little side project called Jupiter's Darling, and it was kind of a spin-off of this band in a way that kind of became our own thing, just doing and performing and recording originals.
Okay, very cool.
It's slow.
Yeah,
And,
we're taking it slow.
Taking it slow?
And when we were working on a piece that was kind of fast, and we were like, okay, slow it down. We're like, wait, that's Magic Man. Whoops, better break that a little bit.
It happened.
Yeah, so ingrained in our brains.
Yeah, it's like I was talking, I did an interview with John Oliva from Sabotage and Trans-Siberian Orchestra a few weeks back, and he was talking about, you know, the collaboration between him and his brother Chris was really, you know, critical for the whole sound that developed into what Sabotage was. And he was talking about the first song that he ever brought to him, and he started playing the riff, and he's like, that's Smoke on the Water backwards, you know, and he was like laughing about it. So the next day he got all pissed off, and he came back to play him another riff. And he's like, what's it going to be now, Highway Star? You know, and it just turned out to be like one of the, you know, best songs that they ever they did together. And so I think that does happen a lot where, you know, you're so influenced by certain things that you go to play it, you're excited about it, and it's like, wait a minute, that sounds a lot like something else. Very cool. And so you guys came down here to Florida and rocked it out for the past couple of days, and what's next for Harper?
We've got some interesting irons in the fire. We've got some stuff we're doing up in North Carolina next week.
So that's your home base, right? Raleigh, North Carolina?
Raleigh, Triad area, Triangle as well. So.
Very cool. And you've got some gigs coming up over the next week or two, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Where you
Yeah,
guys
in
playing?
North Carolina, actually. The next few gigs we've got are in North Carolina, and then we're off to Maryland to do some. There's a casino, kind of a casino tour type thing up there. Rams Head, Maryland Live Casino. Something we're looking forward to.
Very cool.
Doing some private shows too.
So anything on the immediate horizon to get you guys back here to the Tampa Bay area?
Sure hope so.
All it takes is a phone call.
Yeah.
And a warm weekend, you know.
That'd be
And I'm
nice.
sure there's a lot of people that missed you this time around that would love to see you guys play.
I'd love them to.
Definitely looking forward to having you come back down here and rock it out with us some
This
more.
has been a lot of fun. This
For
is a
sure.
really cool weekend for us.
And a continued relationship with you guys and Hellraisers Ball. And thank you guys for
Thank you.
talking to me. You
Thank
rock.
you so much.
Thank you.
It's great to meet you guys.
Same
Thank
here.
you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome to the Hellraisers Ball, where decadence and depravity, all the laws of the land. So strap yourself in, kids. It's going to be a wild ride. Tonight, I am co-hosted by Raven Chain of Sister Kill Cycle and Medicine Man, who is the infamous Medicine Man from the Cowhead Show and 98 Rock. So how you doing tonight, Medicine Man?
Well, I'm doing fine, and of course, I'm looking forward to doing this Hellraisers Ball tonight, and let it stand out for his name anyway, what Hellraising is all about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're gonna kick some ass tonight, and we got a lot of stuff coming up over the next couple of months. We just celebrated the 2-year anniversary of Hellraisers Ball just this past March 27th, and we're a little behind schedule on starting the festivities. But after tonight, game is on, and we got a lot of interviews coming up over the next few weeks, including a lot of interviews with national artists, including it looks like at this moment Carmine Appice, Michelangelo Badio, and a few others. And so we're going to be going out to a lot of different venues to see a lot of different shows. We're going to be not only doing interviews, but we're going to be getting coverage with the fans at the venues themselves and starting a whole new segment of Hellraisers Ball, which I'm really excited about. which is going to be called Balls Out.
Balls out.
And it's basically anyone that wants to just do crazy stuff and anything wild and crazy and just basically show a different talent or a skill or anything. Like maybe we can get Medicine Man to take a taser to the balls or something like that.
Yeah.
You've done that before,
no,
haven't
no
you?
more tasers to the nuts anymore. That was brutal.
That was
I
brutal.
mean, that could have changed my sex life. That happened that day.
That could have, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about how that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was doing the sparkle game, so if you're not fast enough, you get zapped with the taser. So I was trying to back away from Dinah. She had a cattle prod. She nailed me right in the, right in my balls with that
Gazungas.
cattle prod, and I called Dinah the boner slayer. You know, she kind of killed what happened to me. I don't want to take another one there anymore.
You know, right?
I'm not. I hate electrical things.
Okay, camera's over here, by the way.
Oh.
And so I should mention that tonight we're broadcasting live from Bourbon Street in Newport Richey.
Yep.
And for the next at least couple of weeks,
Couple of shows,
yeah,
yeah.
we're going to be broadcasting from here and possibly thereafter.
I would get a rise at that
of
place
course, Sister
anytime.
Kill Cycle just kicked some ass and played this stage just this past Saturday.
Yeah, this is kind of like our home stage here, so it's always nice when we come back in. This is the first time we played Florida since we got off tour, so it was nice to come home and have a good show here.
And I was here Saturday night for it. It was really cool. It was really a great show these guys put on. And of course, they had a good support act. I think they were called
American Fix.
American Fix, which I was like at another festival early in the day, and man, I had a little bit of a stomach issues of the day of being food poisoned the night before some crappy deli next to a club in St. Pete.
Yeah. And so, I've seen you here for the John Corabi show just this past Thursday also, correct?
Yeah. I was at the John Corabi show. It was a really cool show. Totally, him and Kenny McGee put on hell of a good acoustic sets, great songs, and of course, John Corabi, was with Motley Crue when Vince Neil went solo, and of course he goes back with his old band, The Scream, which he did "Man on the Moon" acoustic, really blew my mind.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs.
Actually,
But here, the
Man
acoustic
in the
was
Moon
awesome.
and Father, Mother, Son, which he performed
Yeah.
here at Bourbon Street. And also a song that he didn't play, which I'm looking forward to. We could talk to Anthony Arnold from Bourbon Street here about it, whether or not they already have him booked to come play with his full electric band. But a song that I really was looking forward to hearing is Outlaw from The Scream. I don't know if you're familiar with that song. Outlaw from The Scream?
I have the Scream CD, but I don't think they played it that night here.
No, they didn't.
No, they did not play Outlaw, but he played
No.
the other two songs. He played Father, Mother, Son, and he played Man on the Moon,
Yeah.
which is kick-ass. Of course, Kenny McGee rocking the stage here and opening
Kenny
up.
McGee has a phenomenal voice, man. It's like Brett Michaels gone to heaven voice. Like really, like damn, that guy's got a mesmerizing voice. 12-string guitar was really unique.
When I heard him, first time I heard Kenny, he was playing in a band that's locally famous here.
Oh
called
yeah, Lefty. He
Juliet.
goes back a long
Well,
time
no,
ago.
Juliet is the band that I saw, of course, with another friend of mine, Jimmy DeLisi, who's going to actually be coming on the show over the next few weeks. He's got a few projects in the works that he wants to talk about. Of course, a lot of people know him from Juliet, and he's played in a lot of other local bands. But he's going to be coming on and talking about some stuff that he's got in the works that's really exciting, including some brand new stuff with a band called Killer Bee out of Sweden.
Okay.
And we've ran some of those videos on Hellraisers Ball
Yeah,
before.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and we'll actually be talking possibly to the guys from Sweden.
Oh, cool.
They're going to
Doing
be
like a live broadcast.
well. They're going to be here in Florida, so we're going to set it up. But they
Oh,
come
cool.
on the show.
That'd be awesome.
Jimmy's going to be coming on a few times, but I also spoke to Kenny about coming on, and for the month of April, he's pretty booked up on Tuesday nights. But over the next few weeks, we're going to work on getting him in here, and possibly having him perform live on Hellraisers Ball. And what I was trying to get to was the whole thing with when I first heard Kenny with Juliet. I kind of thought he was a one-dimensional type of singer because, he kind of had that raspy L.A. Faster Pussycat type scratchy, gravelly,
Yeah.
80s type thing going on. Uh, then I quickly learned that that's pretty much not what he's limited to. That's just like what he does with that material because I got to hear him play not only with a solo band but doing the acoustic thing. And his voice is a lot more multidimensional than you would give him credit for if you just heard him do, the one
Right.
thing like Juliet. He's a really great performer, great frontman, and so I'm looking forward to having him.
Yeah,
come on.
a lot of bands require a certain tone sound that a lot of singers don't get, a chance to actually go out and do their range. Some music just doesn't call for some of that high stuff. You want the gravel.
Yeah, yeah, and that's part of what I was talking to John Corabi about. And next Tuesday, we'll be airing the interview that I did with John right here outside on the deck over here at Bourbon Street, and it's something that him and I were talking about. That one of the things that he's really worked hard to achieve as a vocalist is being not only able to have that raspy edginess to his voice, a little more heavy type vocal range, but to also be able to kind of smooth it out. And we
Right.
talked about some of John's personal influences, and the two that I knew I was going to get right off the bat was Steven Tyler and Robert Plant.
Right.
And then I wasn't really surprised to find out, but the other one was Paul McCartney.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think if you really want to go back, Paul McCartney was one of the first singers to really kind of mix those two type of vocal styles together. That real kind of high, poppy, very
Oh,
smooth
yeah,
vocal,
Yeah, I
and then
noticed
that
some of his
raspy
songs
"Oh
anyway.
Darlin'," or if you listen to "Helter Skelter,"
Oh,
where he
yeah.
kind of has that gravelly, vocal. So you could say the Beatles, you know, were probably one of the first bands to really play heavy metal.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They were rock pioneers of
Them
rock.
and probably
you know?
Deep Purple, of course.
And there's
and-
nobody has music like Deep Purple.
Oh yeah.
Some of the stuff is literally mind blowing. The keyboards and stuff like that. Even the new stuff, now whatever it's called, it's still pretty good. Has the old style of Deep Purple of it right now.
Yeah, so I think. Well, what were you saying about the newest stuff?
The new Deep Purple?
Yeah.
Okay, it's of course since a couple members are gone, the new drummer is really good. No, wait, he's still there. What I'm saying, I'm talking about Steve Morse, the guitarist. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about because Blackmore left the band, and of course there's another person in the band I can't think, but a new person just fits in like a glove. The keyboard player.
Is it the new keyboard player
Yeah,
or
the
the
new
old
keyboard
one?
player kept.
Yeah, now with the absence of John Lord.
John Lord
Yeah.
is taken over by Steve Morse, and of course the new keyboard player, I can't think of his name. He's phenomenal. He just took over the place, sounds a lot like John Lord, and the stuff is amazingly good. The neat.
Well, I
Deep
think if
Purple
you're going to be
so-
in Deep Purple, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
like John Lord.
And of course,
I
Richie
mean,
Blackmore kind of went back in the Renaissance day, playing really like Renaissance style classical guitar. It doesn't. He kind of quit Deep Purple doing that, stuff
That's
now.
crazy, isn't it?
It is crazy, and he was a hell of a guitarist back in the day too.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Richie Blackmore. I think a lot of people's first, guitar god,
Yeah.
that they kind of idolized.
Oh, yeah.
Richie Blackmore
And
was up there. I mean, look at like guys like, if it wasn't for Richie Blackmore, you wouldn't have Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah.
Right.
And look at how many guitar players now that are influenced by Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Richie Blackmore, quite possibly those guys wouldn't be playing anything like the way they do.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no. And he, of course, was probably one of the most first flamboyant guitar players out there that really, kind of went overboard with their stage image and all that stuff. So that's what attracted me to him back in the day. It's just like watching him in those get-ups and
And it's
the
like-
big Quaker hat. It's like, look at this guy fucking rip.
And it's like
actually,
we
he
would
play
do-
the guitar with a bow too.
Right,
yeah.
exactly, and of course Jimmy Page made
Jimmy Page did
made
the
that
same thing
famous
too a
with
little
the
later on.
Yeah.
violin bow. And what's that metal rod that they use to make all
With
those
the
sounds?
theremin.
The theremin, yeah.
Theremin.
And I think Page probably used them more than anybody else.
Probably, especially back in the day. Although a lot of Alice Cooper's stuff was done with a theremin. You don't know it because
Oh, wow.
they never listed it, but a lot of the early Alice Cooper shit was done with theremin, which is cool. A lot
And
of
if there's
those
anyone
weird
that would know,
sounds,
you
Halo,
would, because
yeah.
I know you're a huge Cooper
Oh, yeah,
fan.
yeah,
Are you
of
looking
course.
forward to the
Alice
final
Cooper,
tour with
yeah.
Molly Crew
Yeah.
with Alice Cooper?
I'm
Yeah.
definitely looking forward. I hope my coward comes through with my free tickets because I can't afford them.
Maybe Kyle can come
I did
through
enough
for-
stunts
for-
to
with tickets
deserve
for all
those
of us.
tickets, plus
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
tickets
That
for
would be
Soundgarden
awesome.
and of course with.
I got my finger
Nine
crossed.
Inch Nails.
I've already started writing a couple emails. I'm trying to get
Actually,
the.
we'll probably go try to cover the show if we get a chance.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
we'll bring
to
that
know-
to you guys.
I mean, it would be awesome to, of course, get the interview with Alice Cooper, but I think it would be even more awesome to get the interview with the crew.
Yeah, I
Because
heard that.
this is the last chance, man.
Oh, yeah.
If this really, like I was talking to Karabi about it, and I asked him, I said, "Do you think it's really this is it?" You know.
From what I understand, they had to actually sign
signed
a
a contract.
contract stating that they would never tour under the name Motley Crue again.
But I'm wondering if like that is okay. That's if they tour, but like okay, they did a residency at Las Vegas not too long ago.
Look how many times Kiss said
they
their
did
final.
a Motley Cruise.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's still open for those type of one-off type shows
No,
where
I-
they're not touring as Motley Crue, but they could maybe still play.
No, I think it's done.
I think it's done.
I think they're not allowed. I don't even think they can release another record under that name.
I don't even think any of them are really
It made me
interested
wonder about
in
Kiss
releasing
doing that
another
final
record.
tour stuff, and they keep reappearing, you know.
Gene Simmons is never gonna kill Kiss as long as Gene Simmons is breathing.
Yeah.
And there's a way to make a nickel. He's gonna continue.
I know he's a greedy Jew, and he wants every cent he can make.
I actually have a theory about that. I think Kiss is going to be the first band ever to replace every single original member, and
And continue going.
And they're going to continue going on.
They might have a plan somewhere to make robots of Kiss, and they still play
and Paul
mechanically
are
or
going to
something.
replace themselves, and they're just going to have like an authorized Kiss band.
Right. There
Yeah.
you go.
You know, like they got authorized Kiss merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to have like characters where it's not going to be Gene and Paul.
It's actually kind of a cool idea.
You know,
if
it's
you
just going to
think
be
about it.
the demon and the Star Child and the cat and the spaceman.
Yeah.
Just the four characters.
Yeah, because Ace hasn't been there forever.
Well, they got
now,
two other
and-
dudes.
They got a lot
You
of
know,
different people.
in the original costumes.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah.
got Tommy Thayer, the guitar player from Black and Blue,
Yeah, I know.
who's
And they keep
playing
go-
Ace Frehley's role as Spaceman.
I bet they
and
just
you got
keep going.
it's Eric Singer, correct? Playing
Yeah.
playing the cat.
I bet they already got a designer to make Kiss robots that look like them to be on stage after they get too old to be on stage and perform as Kiss anyway.
Kiss
and they have
droids.
pyrotechnics coming out of mouth and eyes and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Be like the Chuck E.
And of
Cheese
course a
version
mechanical
of Kiss.
tongue and
Yeah.
and it's big. One crazy show in the robotic form of Kiss in the future, you know, probably year 25, 50 or something. Because, you know, look at the Rolling Stones. They can't go on it forever. They're probably going on to like the Steel Wheelchairs tour or something.
The steel wheelchairs tour. That's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
And Mick Jagger's about 99 and Charlie Watts is about 101. And of course, it'd be amazing that Ron Wood still maintained his crazy hair. Like,
Yeah.
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 Well, doesn't Keith Richards like do that blood transfusion thing? Like,
No, he does a lot of blood transfusion. Probably his veins hold him together. yeah.
yeah.
That's crazy, man. I don't know how the hell he does it. I don't know.
Of course, the Pirates Caribbean movies
How
have
the
been
hell
in.
is Keith Richards actually still
Functioning,
functioning and
breathing.
alive?
I have
The
not
amount
a
of
clue.
whiskey and coke he was in one time, and he put a solo album that was kind of horrible.
Yeah, he did.
It was terrible.
That just goes to show you that you know, just because a musician is great in the context of what they do and what they've been famous doing for a long time, that doesn't always transfer to them being great on their own. You
Oh,
know,
definitely.
You know, sometimes the what do they say, the sum of the parts is greater than the whole or something like that.
Yeah, and there's
You know?
probably quite a few of them out there too. You know.
I don't understand why a lot of artists feel compelled to break away from the thing that actually made them famous in the first place.
It's like Warrant, you know, like Warrant's a good band when together. When Jamie Lee went solo, it's probably horrible.
It typically happens when you run into a roadblock within the band. I mean, from my experience, you might have a member or two members out of a band that want to do a certain sound or maybe try something new, and then the rest of the band completely wants to go a different direction, and you're
Right.
kind of like, all right, you know what? We can't see it eye, so fuck this. I'm gonna do my own thing for a minute.
Yeah,
Which
but then what actually do you think takes place in a person's mind when they're willing to actually break away from the mothership, so to speak? They break away from the thing that got them to where they are in the first place, and then they feel like, well, fuck it. I don't need to, go back to my original band. I could just go and I can make all the money on my own.
Even a
Something has to happen
very,
psychologically.
very few people can actually do that and get away with it. Alice Cooper being one of them. I mean,
Well, Alice Cooper kind of started
Ozzy.
as a solo
Ozzy's
person.
cool solo.
I mean,
Ozzy had no choice.
they're
You know?
rare birds to be able to do that, though. I mean, me, for example, in my band, Raven Chain solo. Nobody's gonna buy a ticket to see that. I am.
Yeah, but that may be right now, okay. But let's say Sister Kill Cycle puts out, an incredible album, breakaway hit. You wind up going on tour, coming out with a second record, going, national singles all over the charts. The band becomes huge. You make 2 or 3 really solid, Billboard charting albums.
Right.
Okay. And now you're in demand. You're in A-list touring international rock stars. Okay. At a certain point, you're the vocalist, the image of the
Right.
band. People are going to more than likely try to seduce you into saying, hey, man, you don't need the rest of these guys.
Oh yeah.
You could do
that's
I mean,
all.
look,
That's
look
always
at,
out there.
Look at Rob Zombie with White Zombie.
Right.
It's like, if it wasn't for the other people in White Zombie, that signature sound
Would
you know,
never have come about.
would never have happened. He's not the only person solely responsible for creating that.
Right.
But at a certain point, he was like, well, I want full creative control. And so, fuck everybody else. I'm going to continue to do the same exact music. I'm just going to hire other people to create it with me.
Right.
And instead of paying them an equal percentage and being in a partnership, I'm just going to pay them a salary for whatever they do, and I'm
Right.
going to
Hired guns.
and I'm going to be the guy that
I don't know.
calls the shots and makes all the money.
Look at Corey Taylor, Slipknot, or Jonathan Davis of Korn. They did pretty decent stuff on their own. Then they go back to their band again.
Yeah,
And you get an old classic rocker
and
like
I
Geddy
think
Lee
that's
from
cool.
Rush.
I think that's really cool
Yeah.
when someone steps outside the box
Yeah.
and actually does something unique that actually writes music that maybe doesn't fit in, sonically with what they do with their band.
Right.
If they want to kind of go outside of that and create something that's a little bit different, kind of give people a little more insight into the diversity of their influences. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, even Sully
But
Ezra
when
from
they go out and they
Godsmack.
do the same exact
Oh,
thing, the
yeah.
same shtick,
It's like,
I think that's kind of like a slap in the face.
yeah, it's
you
kind of
know?
like,
Yeah,
why do you even do that, dude? You already have the band that's doing that, so why would you do something different just to sound the same?
Right. That to me just doesn't make sense.
Even Geddy Lee from Rush did a couple of solo things too.
And I think that was really cool. But I have the first
Me
solo
too.
album that Geddy Lee did. But
didn't it sound like Rush?
No.
It sounds
That-
totally different than
That's,
Rush.
that's the thing that's really cool about it is that it's Geddy Lee for sure.
Yeah,
But no, it's not Rush.
Oh, okay.
I
I haven't heard it.
And so
I have it.
Yeah, you'll hear tinges, of course. You're going to hear tinges of Rush in the music.
Yeah.
And there's going to be moments where you're like, oh man,
Right.
that would have been a really cool Rush song had he kind of explored that and kind of, expanded on it.
Right. Brought it to the band.
But it's stripped down and it's a lot more raw,
it is.
And I
I'm
think
so
that's kind of
diverse in
cool
music. I just
because
know a lot of what I have.
Rush is one of the
Yeah.
bands I think that kind of suffers a bit from overproduction sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Because they're a three-piece band.
And I mean, can somebody say Def Leppard?
Yeah, well,
I mean, listen to the first couple of Def Leppard albums, and they were a raw, nasty rock and roll band.
If you have like the first
You know?
Strike album, that's a good one.
Listen to Me and My Wine, or
yeah.
what's the other High and Dry?
High and dry, yeah.
Or any of those for any of the tracks from the first two records. Not to say that track for track they're the best records they made,
Yeah.
but you could tell that they were kind of like, you know, more of a garage band, kind of a street attitude,
Right.
gritty.
Yeah, yeah,
They were gritty
definitely.
and raw. Then all of a sudden, they come out with Pyromania,
Oh, then it
real
was
glossy, slick,
polished.
over the top,
Yeah.
polished
Yeah, a lot of,
production.
I mean,
Never turned back,
No.
And I think to some capacity, they couldn't turn back because after the drummer lost his arm, they had to kind of go with more of an electronic drum sound. So for them, it was easier to kind of go more with a mainstream pop.
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
they found that
Popper.
they found that formula that worked for them, and they're still riding it to the top. Anywhere Joe Elliott and Def Leppard,
Oh,
put
yeah.
on a show, it's sold out still to
it's
this
like
day.
it's like Aerosmith since they made their return. They're just a hit factory.
Oh yeah.
Whether
And
they
they'll be
write it
back again.
themselves or they have a little help from their friends, like Desmond Child or whoever else they have helping them, write songs. I mean, it's just hit after hit after hit. It's like, why would they want to go back to just be a gritty rock and roll band?
One of
Right.
my
Yeah.
best favorite Aerosmith albums I like is Honkin' at Bobo, called the bluesy one they did. It is kick
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
One of the
I know the
best
song that you're
albums I
talking
ever
about.
heard.
Actually, there's a single that they did, and a lot of people probably wouldn't expect me to really dig the song. But did you ever hear the song that they did? It's like a one-off. It's called "Come On and Dance."
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. It's a single. It was on. It's off the Pump album, I believe. They
Okay.
did a single. They did like 2 or 3 songs that were like remixes and
Right,
stuff like
right.
that.
I like the song
And
that do the Walk with the Way with the Rum DNC
I
version.
just happened to
it's
be
kind of funny.
in Tower Records in New York when Tower Records was actually still
Yeah.
around, and I just went through the imports or whatever, and I saw this disc, and I'm an Aerosmith fan, but I'm not a huge Aerosmith fan.
Right, right.
I don't have every album
I'd
or
have.
whatever. Do you? And
Christmas.
but I have all the classic stuff like Toys in the Attic and stuff like that.
And I got a lot of the stuff on
but
vinyl too.
Since the more modern stuff, I really don't have like all the records.
That new one that came out just recently, I forgot the name of it. Some songs are okay and some kind of wishy-washy.
Well, I bought a couple. Like I bought
Yeah.
9 Lives, and then there were like a couple of tracks that were kind of heavy.
It's
and
Nine Lives is a new one, isn't it?
no, that
one
was
that
a
came
few.
out
There was
last
a
year, I
few.
forgot
That
what-
was the one with Love in an Elevator
What was the
and
one
all
that
that.
just came out last year?
What's that?
Aerosmith. It was I can't think of the name of it. The newest one that came out like 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was that Pink?
Yeah.
I think Pink.
Yeah. Some songs are good, some aren't.
Yeah, and it's like they're more of a single
Yeah.
band now.
Oh, yeah.
They put out singles.
Yeah.
And so it's not album rock anymore like it used to be. Like a band used to go in to the studio to make a great record, and it was important that the tracks kind of flowed together.
I think that's relevant to say to about any band nowadays. I memean, what's the last record you got from a modern band that from start to finish you're like, wow, every fucking song is badass, and it's cohesive, and everything on the album feels like it was written at the same time. I mean, I can't think of an album like that.
It's hard to get excited about
Yeah.
any of even like the new Megadeth, and I'm a big Dave Mustaine
I love
and
Megadeth.
Megadeth
I
fan.
just called them at the Janus Live just recently.
Yeah.
And it was a really colorful show.
Was that show packed or what? It was like
packed. It was
uncomfortably
sold out.
packed. It was like uncomfortably play. And I had just finished doing the interview with Sean Drover from Megadeth earlier
Yeah.
that day at
And-
Seminole Music.
And the stage lighting was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
They used highly digital lighting for that. And
But it's like I love Megadeth, and of course, I've been a
even
fan.
the support bands were pretty good too.
Well, come on, they had Fear
Fear
Factory.
Factory is a great
yeah.
little band.
Dude, I mean, I've seen them now play. I've seen Fear Factory probably 6 times at least.
Yeah, Fear Factory.
And
My famous song
they
was Shock.
never disappoint you.
I remember playing
I
Shock
mean-
at Home by Fear Factory, and my house gets hit by a twister
Oh yeah,
in Palm Harbor.
yeah.
A little twister, but it was a
just,
messy one.
Unbelievable. They get the crowd excited, man.
Yeah.
People just go
Especially
fucking
that
nuts.
machine gun type drumming.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to a Gore concert. That was the
Well, I
last
think they're
one.
one of the bands that kind of use a lot of electronic triggers with the drums.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
But-
The band Whitechapel had them test
drums.
drumming like
but the
I
way
never
they
heard
do
before.
it, like it's a hybrid sound because you get in the acoustic and the trigger
Yeah.
simultaneously.
and I
It's
like that
just-
shock bass. It makes you everything inside of you move, and it goes. You know, you hit the
In fact,
chord on
that-
that bass.
That's one of the things I'm thinking about getting for Hellraiser's Ball for us to have as a backup if we have our own, backline
Right.
for the show.
So electronic kid or
You know,
triggered kid.
this is a hint, to the people over at D Drum and Dean Guitars that they happen to make a hybrid drum set, which just is unbelievable. It's the Hellraiser's Ball colors,
Oh,
black
yeah,
and red.
Black and red.
Um, and-
XLR's built in.
Yeah, it's got the XLRs built in for the triggers,
Yep.
and it's an acoustic drum set.
Yeah.
Comes with double bass if you want it
Right.
that way. I think we should have it.
I might be able to talk to a few people
Yeah.
over there. I mean, we are
I
endorsed
remember my friend
with
Steve Wackles
D-Drum.
of Sabotage had a triple bass kit, and man, we always make jokes about
Well, I don't wanna go
how do you hit
crazy.
the metal
But I
pedal
think I
with?
do want to have a 2 bass drum set,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you why. A lot of people that play extreme metal or that play progressive rock, even if they can get away with a single bass drum kit, a lot of them like to have the separation
Oh yeah.
of the 2 drums
Yeah.
because when it's something with the attack, it just doesn't sound the same when you got 2 beaters
Yeah,
coming
on
off
one bass
the
drum.
skin at the same time.
Right.
And
And so I just like to have the option that if we had somebody that wanted to play 2 bass drums, we'd have both. We don't have to have it set up all the time.
Right.
You got to realize some of these double drum kits they have in these large kits like Dream Theater, Rush. And did you ever study the drums that's together? That bass is a certain distance apart. They were like individual, like 2 or 3 drum kits in one.
Yeah,
It is, and I've seen that done
Absolutely.
before.
and I think that's kind of cool.
And like Dream Theater has an enormous setup. It almost takes about
Well,
the
the
size
first-
of someone's living room.
Well, the first person I ever saw that had that type of setup was Neil Peart.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Neil Peart and the guy from Dream Theater. They like neck and neck having the biggest drum kits in the world.
Probably the thing that blew my mind the most was, do you remember Lizzie Borden?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was getting kind of excited because I found out they're supposed to come to Florida.
Remember when
Oh,
they played
yeah, they're-
Livestock?
They're
Yeah.
they're coming back. They're
No,
they're,
like
they're
I'm
doing-
talking about like soon. They're supposed to, over the next year, they're supposed to be coming back and doing a show here.
Like
Um,
Reunite come here?
What's that?
Like a reunion show or something? They haven't been
No,
together in years.
I guess they're still touring.
Yeah.
And I can't let the cat out of the bag where they're supposed to play because I've been asked not to. But one of the best drum solos I've ever seen, hands down, was, I can't remember the drummer that was working with Lizzie Borden at the time, but man, he did one of the best solos that I've ever fucking seen. He had a drum set where it was set up in the front and behind him, so he had 2 drum sets and he
Right.
could rotate around and play. And he had electronic drums set up in between the pads where he could just go off and spin around the drums and just whack the electronic pads. And then every time he hit it, he also had sayings that were programmed
yeah,
in.
yeah.
So it's like, he had like Andrew Dice Clay and George Carlin
Sample-
stuff in
hit
there. And I don't know what
samples.
happened to comedian Vince Bouvet, but he was here. I thought we were going to get him on the air. I know I saw him outside talking on the cell phone, so maybe he's still here. But he had Sam Kinison programmed in there.
Right.
And, the guy would just like play like a double bass line, like, hickory dickory dock, the bitch was sucking my cock, and then go into like a drum fill. It
Yeah.
was just fucking amazing. And he had extra drums around the perimeter of the set where the other members of the band were able to grab sticks and play on the outside of the drum set.
That's fucking cool.
So,
I like that.
So when it came to the end of the solo, everyone in the band essentially was playing a
Like
drum
drums.
at
That's
the
pretty-
same time.
That's cool.
And it was just like fucking chaotic, dude. It
That's
was
kind of like ahead of
I-
time with
I've
the.
never heard anything like that, but it was like beautiful noise.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's got
it
to be
was
ahead of
pretty
time
amazing.
with the bands now. Like they have multiple people come on stage hitting different percussion items now. It's something like Imagine Dragons and of course other bands I've seen before. Even Godsmack have 2 drum kits come out during a solo.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
That is always cool. It's slowly playing the drums along the main drummer. And of course, Sully also did a solo project that was pretty trippy.
You know, I didn't hear it.
It's good stuff.
Now I heard that the guys from Godsmack had a solo album. Well, not technically a
I'm
solo
talking-
album, another
yeah,
band
Yeah,
where they had
that's Sully Azure did this. That's what I'm talking about. Sully Azure stuff.
no, but
No,
not
the
not
band
not Sully
without
Ezra.
Sully.
I didn't know that.
It's
I
all of
wonder what it is.
Godsmack minus
Yeah.
Sully Irma, and it's actually the singer from that used to be with Ugly Kid Joe.
Wow. I love that band when they were around. I've seen them on Livestock. Night of Rock used to play them years ago.
Yeah, and I can't I don't want to make a mistake, but I can't recall the name of the project, but I heard some of the stuff, and it was I think it probably drove the point home to Sully Irma that this band could create
Something without
something without him.
Right.
Probably
Right.
put things in perspective a little
you. Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
I mean, one of my most unique bands I ever seen back in '94 were Livestock. They were from South Africa, and I got mesmerized with their music. I ended up finding a CD, a band called Tribe After Tribe. They had the really
Oh, yeah, I
African-sounding
remember that
music.
band.
Yeah.
And they were very trippy and a lot of drums and percussion. They had the African style with their music.
Yeah.
And of course, Eddie Vedder got influenced with their music, doing one that had one of the drummers doing one of their songs from Pearl Jam too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like on one album wonder, Tribe After Tribe.
I've
Yeah.
heard-
But they
I've
were
heard
unique,
them.
one of the most unique sounding bands I ever heard.
That's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind checking that out.
And especially once in a while I catch bands that like a metal band that's really unique is Atom Ship.
Okay.
That's what they rips. They got a really unique sound too.
So now, Sister Kill Cycle
Yeah.
just played here this past Saturday.
Saturday, and I was
What's
here.
what's the next show?
Next show we're doing is April 26th. It's in Daytona. It's some new venue. I'm not even sure the name. I think it's some Billy D's Hookah Bar or some weird shit. I don't know if they do shows there, but they booked us. So,
Really?
as always, you can get on sisterkillpsycho.com and find all of our tour dates there when we're playing. We're going to do a lot more Florida dates, between now and June. We go back out on tour. A lot of people have been feeling like we neglect the area, so
Well, I think a lot of people would like to see more Sister Kill Cycle, but maybe spread out a little bit more.
yeah.
Like maybe a show here and a show in St. Pete.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, we're gonna definitely start putting some more local Florida shows on before we do the tour, and we'll just see what happens. I mean, we'll probably go all the way down to South Florida, maybe hit Jacksonville for sure, and definitely a lot of places like that. Definitely St. Pete. And someone's saying something about going and checking out Coliseum down there in Bradenton.
You're not the first person to mention that place. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to a couple of different bands,
Right.
and including the Love Dogs,
Yeah, yeah.
who hopefully I haven't had confirmation from Joey yet because I talked to Joey Bishop yesterday, but it looks like Love Dogs are going to be on the show
Right.
coming up this next week.
See,
Yeah,
that's
I heard
another
about that
that's
place,
another
too.
thing we need to do.
Big.
We need to be able to call people up while we're here
We
talking.
can. We have Skype.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to do that. We can start harassing people live from the show.
Yeah, and that's something old school Hellraisers ball that I think we definitely have to bring back. Is we used to do a lot of like call-ins,
Yeah,
and just
definitely.
call people up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
on a whim and stuff, and now that the Skype technology's gotten so much better, and we as Hellraisers ball actually does have a Skype number now.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
So
Oh, cool. Especially Hellraiser's Book. Everybody just keep eye it wherever Sister Kill Cycle to play. I recommend these guys are really good, and they have a good show they put on stage anyway. I just saw them last Saturday, and they kind of mesmerized me.
And
Really
we're talking
good.
About some of the shows that are coming into the area. So you had a good time over at the Sister Kill Cycle show.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I went on my way to see it, and I was a little bit ill, but I had my last 10 of my 100% of energy come here and check them out because I really wanted to see them. It's been a while since I checked them out, and they're great.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other great shows coming in the area. And as a matter of fact, one of the things I'm looking for here is I had downloaded the flyer for an upcoming show over at Janice Live this Friday. It's a free show. Michelangelo Badio
Oh, right. Yeah,
is doing a show over there at Janice. And,
I didn't know about that.
And I've actually, thanks to David Van Landing, who is my co-host for probably close to 6 months, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I was able to interview Michael over the phone and do a Skype interview with him a while back. And hopefully I'll get an opportunity to, I've actually met him twice in person, so hopefully we'll be able to get the full interview in person with him over at Janice. But they have a cult tribute band, which I'm looking forward to seeing.
Oh, definitely.
And
I would love to call it. When's that coming?
and no,
Next weekend.
but it's not the actual cult. It's a tribute band this Friday.
I know. This Friday at Janice?
Yeah, and Gary Shutt is
And
going to be
Gary
playing
Shutt,
too.
I know them.
And Gary's been on the show several times.
Yeah.
And I'm actually trying
I
to
got a
find
bunch of the CDs at
one
home.
of his videos because I was going to play the video, and somehow my files got all jacked up here. So
I wonder.
What's the name of that tribute band I called?
what's that?
What's the name of the tribute?
I think it's called Cult
Firewoman.
Revolution or something like that. The flyer is here too. I'm going to see if I can bring it up.
Is it this Friday night or the next Friday night?
It's actually this Friday night.
Oh crap, man! I got company coming over.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go out to eat Friday night. I've got to find out what's going on. It's just if they're gonna just settle down to come here Friday over at my brother's house. You know, it's my sister-in-law's daughter and husband. They just got a baby. You know, 'cause you know how things when there's a family affair. Sometimes you can't do anything what you want to do. Sometimes, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that feeling.
And you know, some of the best things happen when stuff like that happens. Like you get to say, that sucks.
It does suck, totally.
Don't you love it when family just comes in and makes
Yeah.
everything suck?
And they do have a way of doing
I mean,
that too.
especially you gotta have, go out to dinner, have a good meal.
Oh yeah, of course. You got to do all that stuff that sucks. Go out and
You know,
have a nice
especially if you had
meal.
a baby, and
Yeah.
I had to buy him a
It
gift,
does-
stuff
it's
like
not
that.
not always sucky.
And wild looking I am, medicine man, I'm domesticated sometimes.
I'm domestic. I'm being very facetious.
I don't think a lot of people would really expect Medicine Man to be domesticated.
Believe it or not, I was at a wedding years ago, and I caught the garter belt. That's only fable. If you caught the garter belt and gets married, it didn't happen to me yet.
Oh yeah.
It's, I wonder why.
I got a question for you, Medicine Man. Back in the day when we used to play around here,
Yeah,
you had your bike, right?
and I still ride it.
He still rides his
You
bike.
used to no, but I remember the time I met you outside. You had like this female mannequin on the handlebars and was driving around with half of a mannequin's body on your handlebars.
Yeah, didn't I give it to a band member?
One of ours.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, I think you ended up giving it to Mike Hill.
Yeah, I remember finding that thing behind a pile of stuff that donated to Goodwill after hours. They don't take the stuff that's overnight, so I found that thing in the pile of stuff and brought it here.
That was funny.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It was so funny. He rode up on his bike to our show, and he's got the bottom half of a mannequin strapped to his handlebars. I mean, crotch.
It was
coming
hilarious.
at ya.
And this pair of legs are sticking up in the air when I'm riding on traffic. I'm surprised it didn't cause an accident on 19.
That's crazy, dude.
I mean, I used to go to that stuff every night. People leave at Goodwill. I have found stuff that's valuable.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Jewelry.
I bet.
Like gold. People threw away costume jewelry and there was gold in it too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious, man. I found like $400 or $500 worth of jewelry in the junk.
Wow.
I mean, I found a lamp one time. I thought it was just a donation thing, and I carried it and it smashed. One of those cheap hotel type lamps. I go, they sell them at
Yeah.
a garage sale for $1. It smashed, and somebody stuffed in the bottom where the little felt thing is.
Right.
A $50 bill falls out.
Oh, that was your lucky day.
Yeah.
Gotta be kidding.
I said, damn, I love you out of a present is on a $50 bill.
So what did you do? Did you go spin in a liquor?
No, CDs and stuff, hair care products. Price of hair care stuff is not cheap.
Yeah, would you
Every
think the
time I get
medicine man
paid
goes
off,
out
every
his-
time the
out of
price
his
of
way
hair
to buy
curl
hair
goes
care
up, my
products?
No,
Pantene goes up, my
I gotta
spray.
meet his stylist.
He's really into his hair though.
Oh yeah.
I take
We gotta get you out to go out and do the balls out segment for Hellraisers Ball and just get people to do some crazy stuff with
Yeah.
you. I think it'll be
I will not get
fantastic.
I will not get tased anymore. I'm tired of. I'm too old for it.
Well, maybe you could taser other people
yeah,
and
we're
get
gonna
them.
have you taser people.
Right,
Yeah.
you could be the one doing it. And,
One time I had
you
to
know, the
steal.
funny thing is that he'll
one
probably
time
get
they had,
arrested for it.
We had local bands here. It was funny as hell. It was, I guess it was Paradigm and a bunch of, I guess, Clinch Fest. And we had raffles, giveaways. They had me doing a stunt on the stage, throwing a steel-tipped dart. It hit me right in my ass cheek.
What the fuck?
It sucked, man. Yanking it out sucked.
Maybe we should have a dog game set up for next week. You know,
I mean, steel tips.
I'm sure we can come up with some.
Steel tips
with
are
some-
dangerous. You know, if one gets,
Obviously,
I mean, you got to think of your spine too. Don't get with that thing. You know,
Maybe we can get a couple of dart guns.
little
Yeah,
tiny,
do
little
they
tiny
still make
blow
those, or did
darts.
they like ban them?
The little tiny blow darts.
Yeah, you know the kind of toy. You
they're
ever
not-
see
I
the
mean,
dart?
no
Yeah,
longer-
like the little pistol
the-
you get.
yeah, and
like
the
James
tiny
Spader
darts that go
movie
in there.
from Tough Turf.
Yeah,
You're shooting the
now that
the
would
bugs.
be badass. I don't know.
One of my
I don't know if they're
favorite
still
shows on
the
TV.
market.
I mean, Steve-O started. Now there's a new guy doing it. It's a killer karaoke. I saw on True
I
TV.
saw that. That's disgusting.
It's disgusting. Some
Oh,
of
it's
the
so gross.
and some of the stuff that Steve-O did with the shock collar or the dipping the swamp swing with the snakes
Yeah,
or the big maze with the cactus
yeah.
or the guy. There
I've
was some
only
really.
seen like 2 or 3 episodes, but it's crazy.
It
Have
is
you
some
ever
crazy
seen it?
stuff
No,
on it.
I heard about it. I don't get to watch too much television. So.
I have another.
I like
thing that-
watching Wipeout.
I actually had a thing that I was setting up with Heather from the Brass Mug. Maybe we could even do it here. You know, I think there's enough room for it. I wanted to actually do a thing called full contact karaoke.
Full
and
contact.
If
karaoke.
anybody steals this idea, I swear I will hunt
That would
them
be
down
funny. Like somebody's
a
doing
rabid fucking
karaoke
animal,
and a
I will
stripper's
find
doing
them.
a lap
Okay.
dance on her or
Yeah,
something.
it's
you know,
on
on
air
him.
here first. So.
Yeah, I know. And I haven't actually, spoke about it on the air, but I mean, she has 2 of the big sumo costumes.
Costumes.
And I want to have it where I actually found a sponsor.
Okay.
Okay, Play It Again Sports. They're actually interested in sponsoring the event, where they're going to lend me,
Costumes.
no, they're going to lend me actual real sports gear, football and baseball protective gear like shin guards
Yeah.
and shoulder pads, and I
Right.
don't know why they're actually willing to fucking do this, being that
Yeah. It's
there's-
going to be used for debauchery.
there are a few liability issues here. But I want to get a huge gong. I'm hoping
Bringing
to
back
get
the Gong Show.
donated. And I want to have it where we can actually get a crossbow loaded with fucking drum beaters, where
Oh, fuck. This is going bad.
yeah, where
This song's gonna be like getting like Nickelodeon crazy
the
things
person
with the
when they come
slime.
up and sing, they have their choice of protective gear they want to put on, from like a hockey mask to a football helmet, whatever they choose
Right.
to come up.
And they
but
get their ass
but
beat while they sing.
they could. Any combination of things could happen.
Right.
Where they could either get shot with like a drum, like a gong beater, but loaded into the crossbow,
Right.
or somebody could just come up and just tackle them to the ground and
Like
take
football
the
player.
microphone from them. But here's the thing: if you you try to take the microphone away, okay. If you don't successfully get it from the person singing, there's penalties.
Okay.
Okay. And if you do successfully get it, then there are rules.
Okay.
Because now they have a chance to get you back.
All right.
Okay. And so I don't want to go too much into
No,
detail.
we're gonna off camera here. We're gonna go down. We're gonna make up some really fucked up rules.
Yeah, I have a few, and we could elaborate on them. But I
What-
think it's going to be pretty extreme.
One of the
I don't
grossest.
think, I thought it was unique until I actually saw the killer karaoke.
You know, it was the craziest one when the girl goes on the stage and these 2 big sweaty guys called it the big stank rubbing against her. And the girls go trying to sing, go, ooh, ooh, pew. And,
and
he
it-
soaks the clothes in smelly sock juice and other kind of stinky stuff.
I never saw that.
That was hilarious as hell.
So now I was able to actually find the Gary Shutt video I was looking for. So
Let's
now
run that.
I don't really know if it's going to work, but this is the Black Cloud video. So let's see if we can actually get it to broadcast, and then we'll come back
This
and
is the music video.
yeah, this is a music video that
And
he
that's
did.
another thing. You know, JC and I have been talking. I think we're gonna try to bring back some more videos on this show and give you guys a new, fresh look at what's out there. You know, other than what. I mean, where do you see videos anymore? YouTube.
That's
I
about
mean,
it.
You have to find them yourself. Nobody's broadcasting this stuff, so why
Yeah.
not? This is Hellraiser's Ball.
And in Hellraiser's Ball, believe it or not, the original blueprint for the show that we were supposed to actually follow was this show was supposed to be video based. The actual original business plan for Hellraiser's Ball was supposed to be like the Howard Stern show meets, old school Headbangers Ball.
Right.
Right.
So we were supposed to actually kind of have a little bit of variety where we had different people like comedian Vince Bouvet and, comedians come on and, people outside of the musical,
Right.
genres that we represent, like hard rock and heavy metal primarily, but also be open to different types of
Oh,
entertainers.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And primarily run videos in between the interviews. That
I
was
know, we
supposed
all
to
miss
be
those
a big
music
part of it.
videos on MTV.
And
Unless you
we-
get
and
a
we
time
did.
machine, go back in time and see those things. And of course, there is reality shows.
And, and from time to time,
horrible.
we actually did explore that with Hellraiser's
Yeah.
Ball over the last 2 years, and we've played Sister Kill Cycle videos and Gary Shutt and different things. But it's never been the primary
No.
focus.
I
And-
think the format somehow got a little, I mean,
Well, somehow
things
it
evolved,
Somehow
too.
it went from being the Howard Stern show meets Headbangers Ball to being that metal show.
right.
The poor man's version.
Yeah.
And I think it would be really kind of a breath of fresh air and a relief for me in particular to kind of bring it to closer to the original vision that I had for it. And I think that's something that, you
Yeah,
and I have
together,
spoken
you
about
and
that I think we could accomplish.
I think
You
we're gonna
know.
give it a shot, and that's something you guys can look forward to. I mean, we're gonna bring back music videos.
I mean, the technology is there. The technology is actually there that this show can go to being a full-blown television show
Broadcast, yeah.
versus an internet radio show.
Right. Yeah.
And we do have the equipment and the programs, and we're set up to make it happen. So it's just a matter of getting people on board that are willing to do it, getting the right engineer, behind there, because currently I'm actually engineering the show as we speak right now.
Yeah,
And
that'd
so,
be
you
so
know,
damn cool. Bring back the videos.
Yeah. So on that note, let's play the Gary Shutt video, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit.
Cool.
And here we go.
Damn, this thing's hit.
walked every inch of the way just to be with you. But I know that I'm gonna die trying, gonna die trying my own way.
tattoo is being designed. Looking good so far.
Oh, hier ist noch die Hand. Scheiße. Man sieht hier auch nichts. Das ist auch immer eine Sache.
But I have to have Papa Joe on the volleyball too.
Really? Karaoke, they might be continuing.
Back to the Hellraisers Bowl, live in Madeira Beach, Florida, Eskin Dodgers tattoo. Joe is finished with the design of the Hellraisers Bowl tattoo.
Oh, dear.
Number 2, the tattoo of destiny. That's what we're going to call it. This is destined to be on your own. I believe it. I think it was there all along and you just never saw it yet. We're just going to bring it in. And so he's cutting it out right now. We're going to show the show the original artwork here. And Doc, we're going to actually make a stencil out of that, and other people can come in if they want a Hellraiser Ball tattoo. They can come on down and, and get one inked on them.
You know, you can see like this now. I mean,
see if you get that.
Think you get that? So
Yeah, keep it right there. Looks good.
okay. So yeah, this is what we get. We got the Hellraiser's Ball script right here. Then put the design of his choice with that devil girl in the middle. Add some scars, flames. So this is just the raw stencil now. And this goes on blueprint and goes right on the arm when we do the tattoo. But now we can put it on his arm and just see how it fits.
Yeah.
So that's what you guys see now.
Let's take a look. Let's test
Yeah.
the size.
Oh.
Little burn.
The burn of death.
Let's see.
All right. So come on to the camera maybe. Let's see if that fits. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh, wow.
Look at that. That fits perfect. So.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
That goes
Yeah.
right with the shape of the
Yeah.
shoulder right here.
Yeah.
And that comes right down.
Yeah.
That's
But
badass.
that goes right here. Yeah. So the Hellraiser fits right on the show. Maybe a little higher, like that.
See, now originally Matt was going to do this as a tramp stamp,
Yeah.
but I don't want to tell you where he wanted the flame shooting out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be pretty cool. So watch us next time, guys, and see how that ink goes on Matt's body.
Done.
Yeah. Welcome to the Hellraisers Ball, where decadence and the praise of all the laws of the land. So strap yourself in, kids. It's going to be a wild ride. We're here once again at Skin Doctor's Tattoo in Madeira Beach, Florida, for the second annual Hellraisers Ball Tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
The Tattoo of Destiny. Part 2. And we're going to get it on in just a few minutes. Right, Doc?
All right, we're ready for stencil. I set everything up for Matt right there. Because we got some technical issues. So I use that time to set everything up right now here.
And a smoke cigarette.
Smoke some more cigarette, you know, that's my issue. And yeah, we're ready to go with the stencil right now.
Yes.
And watch us out now.
That's right.
For real.
Asking Doctor's Tattoo, where dreams come true.
Where dreams, rock and roll dreams
Rock and roll
come
dreams
true.
come true. And Matt's going to have one of his dreams come true in just a little while. Of course, his dreams usually involve pain and
Yeah.
all kinds of self-destruction.
Dreams
And so,
of death.
these are dreams of death. And we're going to tattoo Matt live right here on Hellraiser's Ball in just a few minutes. And we got a whole cast of characters
No,
here in the
you
studio.
guys see that? That's normally it's not allowed, but we got a show going on tonight. just you know that you'd be safe here. It's not a paradise for alcoholics.
It's not a bar.
Yeah. No, it's not.
So they're not, they're not supposed
No
to be
alcohol
personally
here.
get a tattoo. But you're not going to discriminate with them.
There's no alcohol here.
No alcohol allowed?
Nothing to see here. Keep moving along.
No.
Okay, so we're ready to get the stencil on. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
Come around
All
over
right.
here.
back teeth.
Is his arm shaved?
Your arm isn't still sunburned, is it?
No. No, it's good. Look, a spray and a shave.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shave
Nice
me.
and silky smooth.
Yeah.
Shave me.
And all ready to
Take
go.
me away to the moonlight.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna
Take
go
me
there.
away to the action.
There's gonna be all kinds of action
Oh, yeah.
in just a little
Yeah,
while,
tell
couple
you.
of minutes.
Ow.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the worst
Oh.
part now. Yeah.
Is that the worst part?
Yeah, anything
that's
else,
the sensitive
just-
stuff. Yeah.
Anything else?
Does that sting when it gets put on?
It's made from African ape sperm. But it makes good stem cells.
Matt keeps that at home,
No,
doesn't
it's
he?
cooked
You
out.
keep that in the
so
cabinet in the
terms
house?
of that, then
Yeah. It's in the cabinet marked JC.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah.
Nice. You have a cabinet at home with my name on it?
Yeah.
Figures.
What? It's,
You got something to say? Say it into the fucking microphone.
fuck you.
let's rock and roll,
That
guys.
Hey, but I
that
love
says
you.
it all right there.
But I still love you.
You better love me. You're gonna have my show tattooed on your arm for the rest of your life.
Just
Yeah, we can make
very relaxed.
my name,
Can cover up.
you're getting my name tattooed on your ass.
Don't tell him that.
Look at that.
That's the next tattoo.
What, the cover up of this one?
No. My name on your ass.
No, actually, I'm thinking about getting the Hellraisers ball tattoo in August for my birthday.
That's huge.
That's a big, big tattoo, baby.
That's good.
Oh,
Bigger is better.
Big is good.
That's what she said.
That's right.
yeah.
Blaze the Human Torch agrees. She says, go big or go home.
Let me see. What coming? Oh,
Uh-oh. Something folded over.
Uh-oh.
That's
that's
all right.
good.
That's all right.
We got it? All right.
Yeah, I can
It's
work
on.
with that.
Let me see.
Very good. Check in
Let's
the
see.
mirror.
Turn this way. Oh, that's pretty badass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that fits nice.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Oh, there we go.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's in a good spot.
Joe done it, of course.
Well, he ain't done it yet. He just drew it. Now he's gonna do it.
Still.
Now he's gonna stick it to you for the rest of your life. Yeah, and we are back on the Hellraiser Ball, and this time I'm joined by Jay Diesel Saldano. So Jay, what's been going on, brother?
What's going on, JC? How are you?
Nothing much. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months.
Hellraiser's
Ball, son.
Here, we'll take a quick break.
All right,
All right,
cool.
cool. So we'll take 5 minutes.
So, is this the time to talk about you turning this into a transvestite devil girl, or no? Because he's working on the pubic area right now.
All right.
Is there a way that we could transform that into a massive penis?
Take it transvestite and make it better.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Remember.
This is beyond a trans step.
You'll never into
Which looks like it's very painful.
It looks painful, yeah.
He's been laughing the whole time.
Up here, how does your penis feel? I mean, how does your penis feel? Is it good? Is it moderately erect?
Are you gonna get pierced too?
How does your penis feel,
Are
honey?
you okay? Are you okay with doing a Prince Albert on top of this tattoo?
I don't touch dicks.
Oh, you're out of luck. You're out of luck. Hey, sorry, dude. He doesn't do the dick piercing.
It is not gonna be done by midnight.
I've been begging him. He won't do it. He won't.
What camera? Okay, look, let's go over here. We'll get them both over here.
Directions, I'm being fucking torn apart here. This is at 14995 Gulf Boulevard, Deer Beach, Florida. Skin Doctor's Tattoo, Where Dreams Come True, German ink. They would get it on right here. Hellraisers Ball style. Fearless Victim. I mean volunteer. Matt Powell. Getting needled, scratched, and
Beat up.
fuck up.
I better go to the dog before somebody.
He's got
Fuck somebody's skin out.
He's got everything. And we're going to cut away for just a little bit, and then we're going to come back in just a little while.
I love you.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Hellraisers Bowl, complete with the bed echo effect.
Latency.
Some latency issues, but we'll take care of that. That's just our onboard monitor, since we're not using the headphone amp that delayed me for about an hour tonight. But it is sitting over there.
Yeah, we'll use it eventually.
We'll get around to it probably next week. And now, of course, we're being joined by comedian Vince Bouvet. And Vince, you were here earlier, but you kind of went MIA on us a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like that, JC. I kind of fade in and out of reality. It's kind of the time-space continuing thing, you know, mixed with LSD. I was there, you just didn't see me. I had my cloaking device on, but, you know, maybe, I think, you know.
Yeah, your cloaking device? Yeah, I couldn't find you. But I thought I saw you outside, so I knew you'd be back eventually. And, of course, tonight we're over here at Bourbon Street in Newport Richey.
Yep.
And I tried to seduce new owner Anthony Arnold from Mayhem Magazine into coming on the air with us and talking a little bit about some of the upcoming shows that they have going on here at Bourbon Street. But I just... I guess I wasn't persuasive.
No, he's got stage fright. He
was
sent me up with a
some,
list.
Now, I just want to say that Anthony was talking some shit earlier on Facebook, saying that, you know, inviting people out here and saying that, you know, it was a distinct possibility they may, you know, tie me up and duct tape me and take over the show.
Yeah, I saw that
and
too.
so, I don't know, maybe he's afraid to come up here.
Well,
because we might
JC,
do
maybe you
something
should tell him about the free hooker that you're giving away.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to be
Yeah.
adopted by UFOs and get
Maybe
beamed up and get
if
an
I-
anal probe
if
or
I-
something, get back down here. And
Maybe if I
place-
tell him about the hooker, he'll come on the air.
Now, hold on.
Anthony, did I tell you about the free hooker? Tonight. But you got to come up here and you got to announce your shows coming up this week. And then you qualify.
I'm kind of
Is that a name?
interested in the anal probe thing with medicine, man. I kind of, last time I was abducted, see, I go to my alien support groups, and there's always this one gay guy complaining that he never really lived till he had Exodor give him the purple snorkel. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in it now. I'm hoping I get abducted. You know, I'm thinking.
You want to get abducted now?
Well, it's saving my proctology bills, what I'm thinking. They've got to have better equipment, right, than the fucking guy I got, right? But it sounds thrilling and amazing and beneficial to my health plan all in one. So,
And
yeah, it'd be...
Then it's probably a lot cheaper than going to your local proctologist.
It probably is.
Yeah, Xandor, Exodor. Well,
And
you know...
I didn't think we were going to get that far off the beaten path here.
Oh, that's
but,
getting kind of deep in the hole right now.
Before we came back,
support
yeah.
group, JC. It's
Yeah,
a
go ahead.
very serious project. That and my sexual abuse support group. That's the one where you hear the great, most
And do you go to
erotic
these?
stories.
Do you go to these support groups weekly? How often do you go?
Well, my therapist and psychiatrist and parole officer. Okay.
Are they all one, or are they separate
Well,
people?
it depends. See, they say I should go every day, but it started running up the bill on the state, and my psychedelic straitjacket it needs to be pressed at least every other couple days. So I don't want to show up unless I'm in proper psychotic attire. So the judge finally, told me down, to put a muzzle on that guy. But they started running out of funds at Sunnydale Laughing Quiet Farms where they had me. But
They don't take Obamacare, do they?
no,
they
not
don't take,
yet.
They don't take the affordable health care bill?
No, it's negative capabilities. I told him, that
Not even
G.G.
your mana.
Allen was God. And the guy, at that point realized I wasn't quite normal, which, I thought was. But
It took them a while to figure that out.
yeah, they're still trying to figure it out, I think. But I go pretty much on a voluntary basis to the support groups. The sexual abuse support group, I go just when I want a thrill, because you hear the most erotic stories, man, I swear to God. There's always that one bitch, though, complaining that Daddy made me lick his wee-wee. And I'm like, tell us more, Wendy. Please, God, tell us more. Yeah. And then they kick me out.
I think Raven and I might come and check it out one
Bitches
week.
kick me out when you get into the juicy parts. Oh, Wendy, what did he shove it in your mouth, you little whore? I know you like it. But yeah, so they have fucking negative response patterns to me.
Right.
Just like when I got kicked out of my devil worshiping cult. Ha! They go, you're not evil, you're just weird. Yeah, things went really bad when they asked me to watch the goat the night of the sacrifice. It went downhill quick. I'm on acid and I'm not really watching it. And my fucking goat wanders in and eats my fucking hash box. Well, it was some good Napoli, so I kind of sacrificed him early. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting this shit back, motherfucker. So I show up at the fucking ritual with my pet hamster BB as a replacement. They were less than satisfied.
They were, huh?
They go, son, have you talked about your personal relationship with Satan lately? I go, not really, man. We don't talk. We don't powwow too much. He gives me the creeps. You know what I mean? And they go, all we done is asked that you show up with her goat.
Yeah, they must have been a little upset that their goat turned into a hamster.
Oh, man, the heebie-jeebies, man. The heebie-jeebies, I'm telling you, it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool, man. They put the fucking hex and the hoodoo and kicked me out. Yeah. They said you're just weird. You're not leave. So, yeah, I'm getting kicked out of a lot of places, so.
I wonder why.
Yeah, therapy. So, there is no support group for devil worship and rejection. Go figure, right?
Search the internet. It's just not there.
Yeah. Have you searched the internet for this?
Angie's List.
I will try.
Yeah.
Craigslist.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
the local
Angie's
chapter 13 of Satan worshippers, but I've been spending my time working on my giant beehive lately. That's about it, really. I really am trying to focus on the same electromagnetic, harmonic, resonant frequency. See, when I go out there and do acid, I get right next to the fucking hive just trying to mentally connect with the fellas. Hey, boys, what's going on today? Woo! And little by little, I think I'm trying to control them psychically, where I've got a grip where I want them to start attacking my neighbors when they're not making honey, that is.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm always up to some fucking project, But, the beehive's about 85 feet now. I mean, this old bitch walks by hassling me every day, walking her mud. What are you doing, you crazy hippie from California? And I'm like, you don't know, do you? And I'm looking at, what's that buzzing noise? You ever see The Fly?
Yeah.
Brundlefly, I'm turning. I've been stung so many times. I'm turning into Brumblebee. She's everywhere I go. I crave sugar and liquor and anything sweet. You can give me that drink. She goes, "What's that coming out of your ass? Is that a fucking stinger?" I'm like, "No." Well, you give me your tits. They look sweet, you old bitch. So yeah, she don't ask me too
Sweet
much.
tits.
Sweet tits.
Yeah.
But
It's a stinger or anal probe.
it's always some weird, like my dog disobedience school. I've been training him into. Yeah, I think he's Mexican because he's always going El Barco, El Barco, El Ruffle, El Ruffle, El Ruffle. Yeah, and he, with a little beaner hat I got him. So I keep fucking, giving him my Mexican dirt weed, and he eats that with his food, and he gets a buzz. He gets kind of mean, and he's like it's dog disobedience, so I get him all riled up. He's a little chihuahua, I pick him up in like a poison dart. I aim and throw it at her head first, because he's like all teeth, because I sharpened his teeth with a file. But,
Did you really?
yeah. You know what the dentist said when I asked him? He said, "Get out, you crazy fucker."
Who sharpens their dog teeth with a file?
But yeah, it's.
I can't even talk straight.
So I'm thinking of starting a dog disobedience school.
Yeah, that'll work.
There's a market for it.
Holy shit.
I think there is.
Well, in the meantime, just to get back at these neighbors of mine, I took a picture of my asshole.
So I'm looking to get my.
And I blew it up the size of a billboard. And I got it on the side of my house by their breakfast nook now. They look a little green in the gills, I gotta. Whenever they're eating dinner, it's like, they fucking. And so, little by little, I'm working on them psychologically. I'm working on their minds. Yeah, man. It's always.
And I think it's bound to work.
I never last so much without smoking pot in my life, and I almost shit my pants at Kmart.
See, it's possible to be drug free and still have fun.
Medicine Man becomes Rain Man.
Yeah.
Hey,
And get him back.
Kmart
Get him
sucks,
back
Ray.
to what I was
Kmart
saying
sucks.
before.
Kmart sucks. I used to work there, and it did suck back then.
It did. I was trying to get Anthony to come up here for the free hookers, but he's not going to. So I just want to mention that coming up this week at Bourbon Street on Thursday, April 10th, Lee Pons is going to be playing now they have a blues night here on at Bourbon Street every Thursday. Okay. And I think that has something to do with hamburgers too.
Hamburgers.
I saw a flyer. I don't know.
Okay.
I got to get more
They
information.
make great hamburgers here.
But they're going to be doing
Very good hamburgers.
the Thursday Night Blues show here, and Lee Pons is going to be featured this Thursday, April 10th.
On the 10th.
Now, this Friday, I don't know too much about this band, but it's called She's That Dude.
She's That Dude.
And, I could only... I think there's a few people running around Tampa that probably fit that description. So
Our
I
old
don't
guitar player.
Yeah, your old guitar
If he's
player.
not dude, it might be a she.
Vince, you ever heard of that band, She's That Dude?
I think I know her.
Yeah, you know her?
She's
But
from the support
apparently
group.
it's a whole band of dudes. Or
Right, on the 12th,
or
on Saturday.
or dudettes. And this Saturday, April 12th, do you want to say that?
Mr. Grumpy.
Mr. Grumpy.
Yeah, it's Mr. Grumpy. And
Don't be happy,
And
just
now
be
I've
grumpy.
actually seen Mr. Grumpy play once, and they're actually a pretty good band. They're entertaining. So anyone that lives within driving distance, come and check out any of these three shows or
Yeah.
all three of them.
Yeah, and these three shows are no cover. I mean, it's free to get in. You can just come hang out, have some drinks, check out some of the awesome food.
I'm actually not sure about the cover, but I think that they're all no cover. Yeah. Oh,
No
yeah,
cover,
they're all
that means it's
no-cover shows.
absolutely free. And you can
then,
afford to buy
and
beer
then
that
coming
night.
up, I know a show that a lot of people are going to be excited about on April 18th is the return of the Love Dogs to Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And, of course, Joey Bishop making his return just recently over at the State Theater in St. Petersburg.
I mean, is he the original
And-
Joey Bishop? He used to have his own TV show back in the 50s?
No,
Well, he's the son
actually,
of Joey
you
Bipnick.
should ask him if he's related.
Yeah, I gotta
I've,
fig- I gotta
I've,
figure-
I've
I gotta
always
go figure
meant
that
to
one
actually ask him that question.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Love Dogs, they have their own brand of like sleaze rock.
Sleaze rock.
You know,
It's like
there's
the
the
Hollywood.
80s glam, LA
Those are kind of cool.
type vibe, and they just shot a video. And
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and actually
they
that's
will get it on air.
well, this. Well, yeah, maybe we will, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a tease of it
Premiere.
because the actual video release party is here on the 18th.
All right, well, there you go.
And so they may not let us play the whole video, but maybe we'll seduce them into giving us just a little sneak peek,
There you
just
go.
to kind of get people
Twist
excited.
Joey's fucking legs off.
Yeah, exactly. And so we'll see if we actually get confirmation that they're going to be on the show.
Right.
Right now, it's still up in the air that they're going to be on next week, but we'll keep people posted.
We got one more on there.
And then on April 19th, Saturday, April 19th, is Jaded.
Jaded.
And I don't know if anybody is familiar with the band Jaded, but they've been around quite a while. They've got a really solid lineup now.
Are they from
And
around
of course,
here or out of
of course,
state?
my friend Rob Custes, who used to sing for Den of Thieves,
Cool.
Yeah.
is actually singing for Jaded. I know that they play a lot over in Hillsborough County and Pinellas, and there's a lot of people in Pasco that I'm sure would love their brand of rock and roll. So come on out and check out Jaded and these other great shows, and maybe we'll get around to talking about them again.
Yep.
Before we wrap the show. And I think we got a guy that's been waiting to come
No,
on.
he's gone. He left.
No, not that guy. Another guy.
Oh, we got another guy?
No, we got CJ from a band. He's going to tell us about his band. I think it's Section 3-1 or
Section 3-1.
something like that.
I don't know. Let's get him. Up here.
Let's get him on here. CJ, why don't you come up here and tell us about your band?
Let him sneak in here. There. Mr.
When you
Medicine.
shoot a video, JC, what type of gun do you use?
I normally don't use one, but
What's your name?
CJ.
CJ. Nice to
I'm
meet
the
you.
opposite of JC.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you guys are fucking confusing.
So CJ, tell us about your band.
Band is Section 31, primarily 80s rock. Bon
Okay.
Jovi, Journey, Night Ranger, Ozzy. Why? Because we can. We have a guitar player that's that damn good.
Awesome. And so, what do you do in the band?
I'm a keyboard player and sing about half of the lead vocals.
Oh, awesome.
So, and
Yeah, how long has the band been around?
technically since about 2010, but current lineup, the last 6 months, we just snagged Stormbringer's former bass player, Nick Cardulius.
Wow.
He's playing with us now. So
Awesome.
So that kind of kicked the band up a couple notches.
Very, very
So,
cool.
Next gig we've got is Skinny's up in Hudson at, April 25th, I think is a Friday. And then the following weekend we'll be here on a Saturday for a benefit on May 3rd. There's a poker run for somebody's kid who's got cancer or something. So
Very cool.
So we'll be playing from like.
So you
3
primarily a Pasco County band?
No, actually, we're kind of scattered all over. I mean, we've played at Hogan's Beach and Whiskey Joe's, but you know, kind of all over Pinellas, Pasco, and some Hillsborough. So.
Okay, cool.
So wherever we can get the gigs, you know.
So now people come out to see Section 31.
Section 31, right.
They could expect to hear Bon Jovi. Like, what songs from Bon Jovi would you play?
Runaway from Bon Jovi. You're going to hear Don't Tell Me You Love Me from Night Ranger.
Awesome.
Crazy Train. You'll hear some Poison. You'll hear some Van Halen as well as some Van Hagar.
Okay.
We, you know,
'Cause
we
a lot
don't
of people
discriminate.
A lot of people dismiss Sammy. You know,
Yeah,
and
you can't dismiss Sammy. I mean,
and Sammy's a great guy and a hell of a frontman and great musician.
Yeah, very great musician.
No, I mean, my preference is David Lee Roth for Van Halen. However, they wrote some killer material with Sammy Hagar.
absolutely. I mean, we had the gig that we played last Saturday
And
at
pretty much
Cocktails.
anything Sammy touched, like Chicken Foot. Do you guys do any Chicken Foot?
No, actually, we've talked about doing that though, because I think Bigfoot by Chickenfoot would be an awesome tune for us because it still has that. It's current, but it's got that '80s feel, you know.
Yeah, it's got that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and as time goes on, we also hope to bring in a lot of more current stuff by a lot of those artists, because a lot of people don't know. Whitesnake just put out an album in 2011.
Yeah.
Great material. No airplay in this
No,
market.
they didn't get any support.
No, nothing. Winger,
And I was surprised.
Winger
I thought
has a
98
brand
Rock
new
would at
album
least-
dropping next week.
Yeah, we were
Okay.
talking about that.
I've listened to 5 of the cuts already. Awesome stuff.
Wow.
And you may find us doing some of that stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Again, because we've got a guitar player that can pull off that kind of stuff.
And now, so you guys aren't afraid, obviously, to pay homage and respect to songs that maybe aren't, radio friendly or, current hits.
Right, exactly. We could kind of get away with, doing like what VH1 was doing at one point in time, doing that classic current thing,
Right.
where they would play a classic video from that artist and go, and here's a brand new song by,
Yeah, I think that's
and we do that.
Cool.
We do that kind of thing.
Like when you take a band that's an established band, that's a really popular band, I think that's cool to actually play a song off the new record, or a song that is maybe like a B-side, or a really good song that just maybe, didn't get a lot of attention.
Well, even down to classic stuff, as far as songs that didn't get a lot of attention. We do a fair amount of Journey.
Okay.
Our drummer, actually, he's the one that puts the vice grips on his nuts for those vocals. But we do Line of Fire, okay? Wasn't a big hit, but the live version got a fair amount of airplay. And when we play it, people go, I love that Journey song. I never hear anybody play it, okay?
That's awesome.
We also do, Just the Same Way by Journey, with when Greg Rowley and Steve Perry doing lead vocals back and forth. Again, nobody does that. Everybody plays separate ways, which we do, and everybody plays Don't Stop Believin', which we do. But again, on top of it, we're doing the other stuff that not everybody is playing.
That's awesome.
Play those B-sides, play those songs that were hits that everybody's forgotten about because radio sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
I
Play
think,
the good stuff.
And I think
And
that's
the hits do
something that's
suck
missing
and
with a
just
lot
better
of
than the
bands that
B-sides.
are on the cover circuit, is that one thing that I think most hard rock and metal fans will agree is that radio does suck, and especially when we were growing up, a lot of the bands and artists that we listened to didn't get airplay. A lot of the songs that we wanted to hear
No, we had to
didn't
find
get airplay. We had to go out and find it, and we had to find places that we could play it and bands that we could listen to that were willing to perform it. And I think that's something that's kind of missing sometimes because, obviously, you're playing to an audience and you want to make it as appealing as possible to as wide a variety of people. But I think a band should take a handful of at least 5 or 6 songs out of the night that are just songs that they love that they would like to hear other people play.
Well, one of those songs is Night Ranger's second single, "Sing Me Away," off the Dawn Patrol album. Every time we play that, at least one person in the club comes up and goes, "That's my favorite Night Ranger song.
See?
I've never seen a band play it. You guys rocked it."
That's awesome.
We do You Got Another Thing Coming by Judas Priest. Everybody knows that. But we also do Electric Eye.
Right,
Okay.
so yeah, see.
Again,
Yeah.
a popular song to Priest fans,
But not popular to everybody else.
Not
Right.
necessarily for everybody else. But you're gonna find those people in the bar. Not every bar, but
Right.
you're gonna
And you
find
could-
those people.
And if you're an experienced musician and you're out on the circuit, you could kind of get a feel for which bars those songs may go over a little better.
Right. And
you know?
and again, going back to our guitar player, and I'm going to plug his name. His name is Dareem Elmazi, and he's self-taught. He can play Yngwie Malmsteen, "Far Beyond the Sun," note for note.
Wow.
Okay. But we play a couple instrumentals. We play Cliffs of Dover by Eric Johnson, and we've had a couple of people go, "I never thought I'd walk into a bar on a Friday night and hear somebody playing Eric Johnson," and they throw $10 tip in the jar.
You see, that's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
We also do Satch Boogie by Joe Satriani.
Cool.
Again, because we've got the guitar player that can do it, but people go, "Wow, I like the song." They've heard it,
Of
back
course,
in the
yeah.
day.
Right, yeah.
or they might have heard it on Hair Nation on Sirius XM
Right.
recently, but
Or even wasn't Satch Boogie or one of those songs? No, it was Summer Song, I think. Was the
Oh, yes.
introduction for a television show.
yeah. And speaking of intros to stuff too, we play "Turn Up the Radio" by Autograph,
Theme song to a TV
which was the opening song for that movie Hot Tub Time Machine that just came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
The whole opening credits, they're rolling "Turn Up the Radio," and we play that, and people go freaking nuts, and it's like, okay, we love playing the song. We're glad that you guys are loving it too. You know, it's just, but nobody else out there is taking those chances and playing those lost hits, if you will.
That's cool.
You know,
So
I
that answers my question. Why would people want to come see your band
yeah,
versus another
versus
band?
anybody else?
And that's
we do "Shock the Monkey" by Peter Gabriel.
There you go.
You know, we do "Don't Change" by NXS.
Awesome.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of all the stuff. We do a handful of Car songs. Again, one of the few
Do any
bands in the
Motley
area
Crue?
that have keyboards.
Right.
Do you do any Motley Crue?
No, but we do "Round and Round" by Rat.
Okay.
Tell me a cover band around here that's
No, not
that's
not
doing right.
enough. Not enough bands.
We
on
do
the cover
"Shout It Out
circuit.
Loud" by Kiss.
Yeah.
Okay. Good
Again,
song,
everybody
great song.
plays Detroit Rock City, but
Right, or I want to rock and roll all night.
or Rock
Party
and Roll all
Every Day.
night. But we said, you know what? Why don't we play a good classic Kiss song that not everybody and their grandmothers played to death? So we picked "Shout It Out Loud," and you know, people are screaming the chorus with us. You know,
Yeah,
it's
great live
it's just
song, yeah.
it is. It's awesome.
I
And
mean,
it's
name me a Kiss concert that they don't play it in their set list.
no,
You
they
know,
they
it-
have
it's
to.
a-
That's
it's
it's
a
one of the staple.
yeah.
Exactly.
And yet, it's a song that a lot of cover bands ignore. See, those are perfect choices.
Yeah.
Now you guys have a website, Facebook.
Reverb Nation. You can go to reverbnation.com/section 31, and there's a link between that and our Facebook page.
Okay.
So to check out dates and so forth.
Pick it up. And so Reverb Nation.
reverbnation.com/section 31, and you can and all of our dates as soon as we book them, they go right up.
Also linked to the Facebook. 'Cause
Yeah.
I noticed most.
Yep. Absolutely.
Most bands.
Yeah,
have
you can
the
do that now. Like
Reverb Nation.
Yeah, with
you hit
ours.
the events thing, and it takes you to.
Right.
the
Well,
schedule.
yeah, and there's a little Facebook logo. You
Right.
click on that, and it'll take you to the Facebook page. Or if you find us on Facebook,
got
you
the
can.
Reverb.
It's got the Reverb Nation. Yeah, they're reciprocal. So.
Cool. Yeah.
So some cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm hoping that a lot of Hellraisers Bowl fans go and check it out. In the meantime, you're welcome to come back on the show.
Absolutely, I'd love to do it again, and maybe we can talk some more on a night where we got a little more time to kill, and
sure.
I've got some more dates to announce, and
Bring your guitar player, and we'll put him up here, and he could play a couple.
let him shred a couple.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right.
Shred right on the show and show people at home what he's got. You know.
Yeah.
Cool.
Introduce some people
Absolutely.
coming out to the gigs for you guys.
That would be awesome. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, CJ.
Thanks, man.
You're great.
Awesome.
Here's your microphone back. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Anytime.
It's pretty cool, man, that somebody takes the time to, try to bring out lost stuff. I mean, I do that in my act, like some of the lost
Yeah.
hits, like I do by Jim Morrison, Lament for My Cock. Yeah, I try to bring back that hit each time, but somehow it's not really a crowd pleaser like I thought it'd be, JC. They start headed for the exits when the first part, Lament for My Cock. And from there it goes downhill. Go figure.
It does. Vince, check that microphone because.
Do what?
Check your mic.
Syphilis. Check.
I'm not getting a lot of volume on it.
Low volume. How about now?
It's still low.
I've been having problems with my stepchild. I thought I drove him crazy enough to use him at my psychiatrist to get me some good drugs. See, right before I send a little bastard,
Pass that down.
Try this one. How about now? Are we reaching Spock?
Now you're spiking me.
Did I get Lament for My Cock, folks? That's right. I do that at my show. Be there, be square. You like that? Say, hey, yeah.
And so when are you doing a full show?
Well, That depends on how much good drugs I can get. And I've been thrown out of just about every comedy club around and been banned and exiled, even on Main Street. So I think, the last I heard, JC, it's getting pretty serious. They're banning me from existence. The son of a bitches. So I think Mars is probably going to be my next outlet. But it might be in a parallel universe because, just the little things that piss me off. They get like my fucking stepkid. I'm fucking with him. I'm working on him psychologically. I'm telling him, yeah, your dad was a sissy. He used to wear dresses, and he gets all crazy, and it's like fights at school. That way I get to take him to the psychiatrist. I tell my girlfriend, oh, don't worry, I'll take the little bastard. I make sure I feed him like chocolate and red blood-stained jello where he looks like a total psycho douchebag, and I tell the doctors, he's really crazy, you better up his dosage. So when the bastard gets home, I'm like, look, little Billy, I'm gonna clean out your whole stash. If you tell your mom, I'm gonna kick you in the balls again, motherfucker. So, it's always working on some way to get around. I like to skirt around society's edges that, you were born with slack till them fuckers made you work. How dare they? Yeah, they actually, they want to make me actually work. So if I can destroy my stepchild psychologically and use him as a Ponzi scheme to get good dope from my, it's... Hey, it gets better when I don't fucking crush up and snort and chug with whiskey for breakfast. Here, you better come back with $50. You sell this, I don't care if it's your best friend ODs. Bring the money, you little fucker. But yeah, I shake him down like the mob. Hey. He's learning.
He's learning?
His mom thinks he's just the video games, and I act real straight. Yeah. You better not show him anymore. I even tell her I think he's gay and shit. But so she's doubling up on his dosages, so it's cutting into my stash, so I got to cut back a little,
Yeah.
But, so what can you say,
She thinks it's the video games, huh?
Well, yeah, I'm a little worried because he's looking at me all devilish, saying when I get old enough and get my real gun, you're in trouble, Dad. So I got to time him. His shelf life's expiring on me, so I got to get out of Dodge before this little fucker gets too good. So all he does is practice on how to, I think, kill me or something. I don't know, but maybe little Billy's going to OD one day. See, if I can knock her up, I want to get him like an assembly line. So when his shelf life's expired, it's beat it, you little creep. And then I can start working on the other ones,
There you go.
But yeah, I'm thinking of getting her to open like an adoption center where I can
So what do you think, like a new kid every 5 to 6 years?
Nah, I'll wear them out quicker than that. I need more dope, you see. I'm thinking of doing wholesale, like starting like a fake orphanage where I can pack them like sardines in there, like... like 20 of them in racks like a slave labor camp. I'm going to start hypnotizing them to be freaks and go out and like an army of mutants. I'm your leper messiah, children. You will get my drugs, and we will cause a world takeover. Oh, am I getting carried away? Wait, never mind. Yeah, it's
You're doing great.
I didn't spill the beans, did I? Did I actually say that there? Yeah, but that's not really my, yeah. Sure. Yeah. Something like that, Jason. Yeah. Anything to keep from taking my slack and making me actually have to work. I think it's all the fucking liquid wrench I've been shooting up. It's either that or that.
And see, people worried about what I do to their children.
Yeah. Well, you know what's great? Have you ever shot rabbits?
With the,
Oh, I'm always
Bureau
on
of
the
Children and
yeah.
Families?
Yes.
Well, you know what's when I get low on dope, rabbit's blood. Oh God! If you've never lived till you've shot up rabbit's blood, that and liquid wrench combined. The only problem with rabbit's blood, it's one side effect. It makes you get into hip hop. It sucks, man. I hate the fucking shit, but for some fucking reason, ever I shoot rabbit's blood, I want to listen to hip hop. It's fucking weird, man.
That is
It's
fucking
crazy, but out of control. But yeah,
Do you ever listen to hip hop
I hate this shit.
willingly?
Don't shoot rabbit's blood.
You know, believe it or not, no.
No.
I'm sorry.
I admit it. I went to Wild Splash.
Did you really?
Yo, dog.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
I have no clue. What about
I hate this shit.
What about that thing they just had down there in Miami? What was that? The
Oh yeah, Ultrafest.
Ultrafest,
With,
yeah.
electric dance music.
That's more like
Yeah, electronic.
Electronic shit though.
You get
It's not
into
really
that?
hippity hop.
Anything make you listen to electronic music, Vince?
Yeah. If
Part
I
of his therapy.
Yeah, I was thinking.
if I get
Electro.
stinking commode hugging
Probably attached
drunk.
to fucking testicles, the battery cables or something when he listens to it.
I really some of it like I don't know if it quantify or what KMFDM, that industrial metal. I guess that'd be more of that genre than the.
Yeah, that's cool shit. KMTM and Ministry stuff like that, but not that.
You're talking more of the like interfacing with a computer thing.
Oh, Ramstein, but you got
Yeah,
this computer
like, what
stuff
they
that's
call
all like
BPM
beats and
and,
dub and shit like that. It's all
EBM,
fake.
yeah,
I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
I don't
we're
pay
I think we're too fucking metal, JC.
I think we're too metal
yeah.
for that.
That's another show. It's
Yeah.
instead of Hellraisers ball, that would be like I'm a pussy and I make fake music ball.
Computers
I
fucking.
don't get into the electronic music that much. I mean,
I
I've
like
heard
the song for
bands-
Prodigy. Smack that bitch up,
bands
dumb.
Incorporated into their sound, which is cool.
Well, sure. I mean,
I like
Corn for sure did that
I
whole
like that.
Skrillex thing.
Yeah, but just straight industrial electronic music, no real musicians playing it.
Well, when I shoot up Lysol, I kind of lean that way a little.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. Lysol.
What happens if you shut out
You ever snort
Locknut?
Comet or Ajax or anything like that?
I'll experiment with that.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. See what it
Let's
does.
give it a shot.
Try
Let me know.
try that out. Get
Yeah.
back to us.
Locknut?
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
And so
Actually, there is a drink I'm quite fond of called a Windex.
a Windex.
A
Locknut
Windex.
might dry out the testicles anyway.
And it,
I've never tried it.
it's quite amazing. It has about every liquor that you can imagine in it.
Does it really?
It does.
Does it taste like Windex? Or would you
sorta
would you
does.
not know?
No, it sort of does. After 2, you don't care anymore.
Does it make you want to go home and actually pour a shot of Windex and say, "All right, I need to try this just to"?
No, the ammonia
No.
really, it's too, yeah.
No.
The
Does
ammonia-
it have the
ammonia
same
doesn't-
smell though? I mean, how do you really test to see if it tastes like Windex?
I don't know. We're gonna do that for one of our shows.
ammonia
We
and
should do that.
Windex
We
not
should get at
We're
least
gonna do
one
a
volunteer.
glass of real Windex.
And getting
a
back
glass
to what
of
was going
fake
on here
Windex.
earlier.
I like the way this guy thinks.
We showed the Hellraisers ball tattoo that happened
Once I blew my lab.
over at Skin Doctor's Tattoo
four legs, but
in Madeira
it's
Beach.
gone.
Hold on. And Medicine Man was actually there for the first ever Hellraisers ball tattoo. And you got a Black Star whiskey tattoo. Show the folks at home what that looks like.
This is what it looks like. Officially,
Not that everyone's going to see,
official
really.
Black Star whiskey tattoo on my arm.
And I
This was
just-
done by Skin Doctors about almost a year and a half ago.
Oh, it's over.
Cool.
It's got to be over 2 years.
Oh, almost close to 2 years because I remember I went to that thing for this tattoo about a week after I went to a Ramstein concert.
Yeah, because it was the
Du hast mich.
Because we did
Du
the
hast-
first
du
Hellraisers
hast
ball
mich.
tattoo, and Black Star Whiskey did a promo where they did a tattoo also on the same
giveaway,
day.
yeah.
And last year we did the second ever Hellraisers ball tattoo, which is still pissing me off because it isn't actually finished.
Yeah.
And apparently the person, our fearless victim who started the tattoo, now has some time available. So we'll be returning to Skin Doctors. Now they're no longer in Madeira Beach. They're on John's Pass. And we'll be going to the new location with Doc Joe and letting him finish off the second Hellraiser ball tattoo and starting an all-new thing where I think we already have a volunteer, actually. And I was going to announce it on the show, but it appears as though we already have someone that's volunteered to do it. But we'll probably make it available to the public for people to, do a contest or whatever and see who wants to be the next victim. I mean, volunteer for it.
Volunteer.
Maybe
yeah.
Vince will get a Hellraiser Bowl tattoo.
Well, JC, I'm puzzled already. I've got one of a ghost. See here on my arm. It's. Oh.
The ghost just knocked my beard.
Yeah,
down.
he's creepy. Look at it. It's a bad motherfucker, isn't it? Woo! Yeah.
That's some ghosts you got. Oh, you got to see the movie Ghost House?
Yeah.
Haunted House. That first one was funny as hell, but the second one's gonna be like so funny as hell, it's gonna make you shit your pants when you laugh so hard.
See, that's the problem with a ghost tattoo. You can't see it.
And I actually think Anthony's probably gonna kick us out because are we close to 2:00?
It is 2:00.
So
I think that skull wanted your beer or liquor.
It's about time to wrap. But I want to thank comedian Vince Bouvet for coming down and hanging
Yeah, definitely check him out. Do you got a fucking site or something like that, Vince?
Well, I've been.
Or mental hospital address to write to?
Yeah, a little. They're banning me from the universe. So, but in the meantime, if you go to Wild Man Vince on Facebook, you can maybe see me. And then if you go to tnafilms.com, you can see some of my porn when I'm in action tying up these little bitches and beating their ass like the whores they are. And yeah, and then you can buy the best 3D porn in the world. You're in fucking T.
Are you still the #1 3D porn clip site on the internet?
Have dropped down because of me to #3. For some reason, I guess me choking the bitch was having negatory response patterns until we've hit our market. But we're still one of the top best on clips for sale. If you go to clipsforsale.com and put in store $589.89, that's the 2D site, and then you can hyperlink to the 3D site.
And now we did a show where we actually watched some of the 3D porn with the 3D glasses. Of course, the people at home couldn't see it, but
we did.
We actually, yeah,
I'm
watched
in
it in the studio. And
Was
so
it the
we
one
should
with
probably
me?
do that again. I'm thinking at least once.
Was it the one with me hog tying the bitch and
live
spanking the dirty?
It was, yeah.
We could do
That's a
live
good
porn.
one. That's
What's that?
We could do live porn.
Well, yeah, we could probably get away with that, but then we'd have to put a disclaimer that people 18 and over.
There you go.
And then if you
Select,
go to
version.
screamandsam.com, that's the radio show I do also.
Right.
You can see, and if you go to YouTube and put in Wild Man Vince, you can see about 50 different me interviewing the biggest porn stars in the world, from Brooklyn Lee to Ron Jeremy to a bunch of other freaky fucking crazy motherfuckers, from Zach Wild I interviewed in High Def 3D's coming up there, to Eminem's brother, to look and see.
Awesome.
I mean, 3D porn must be kind of cool and scary at the same time. The
And
tits
of
must
course-
be looking beautiful when they stick out, but you get a dick coming at you, that'd be one scary motherfucking
Godzilla!
dick. It'd be
Hey,
like
Godzilla!
Oh no, here
And-
comes Tokyo, here comes Coxzilla.
Yeah.
And of course, if people want to see
Missile
more,
Command!
more
Dive!
Vince Bouvet, Wild Man
Dive!
over there,
Yeah.
they can tune in to
Or Attack
future
of the
episodes of
50-foot
Hellraiser Bowl, 'cause
Bonosaurus.
Vince is going to be joining us
Definitely.
on future episodes for sure. And maybe we got to take you out in the field with us, me, you, and Medicine Man and Raven, and do. We got a new segment called Balls Out. It's just crazy, the craziest, wildest shit that people want to do.
Oh,
So,
man.
I think it'll be fun.
That sounds really good, man. Like, I can
Yeah.
think of, like, taking back my kid's rectal thermometer used to get the money back with peanut butter all over it. Look!
He's already
This
got ideas.
isn't right!
He's an idea man for sure.
We can film, have a great time, getting kicked out of multiple places, JC. I love it.
Guys, I think we do have
Yeah,
to wrap it
and
up
I just
now.
want to let people know to tune in next Tuesday for an all-new episode of Hellraisers Bowl. This beta test
Russ,
over
what's
here
up?
that we did is going to be available in an edited version over the next couple of days. We'll make the link available on Facebook and on the Hellraisers Bowl website, so people can check on www.hellraiserball.com or just go to the Facebook page for more information. Of course, I want to thank Anthony Arnold from Bourbon Street for allowing us to come down here and broadcast
Host the
live
show,
and
yeah.
videotape tonight. Come down to Bourbon Street this week and check out some of the great shows that are going on here. Thursday, April 10th, Lee Ponds. They got a blues night that they started here a couple of weeks ago. Friday night, April 11th, She's That Dude. Mr. Grumpy on Saturday, April 12th. Next week, After that, of course, the Love Dogs
Show, which will be
video
here.
release party, which is Friday, April 18th. And more than likely, Hellraisers Bowl will be here in support
Yep.
for that. And Saturday, April 19th, Jaded.
Yep.
And we'll be back with an all new episode next Tuesday, hopefully on time, 10:30 p.m. And
Eastern time.
Jason,
Eastern
what
time.
time is it on Mars right now?
Who the hell knows? But I know it's time for a wrap, and like the gym teacher says, gotta put your balls back in the bag.
And
yeah,
that-
get your balls back in the bag, guys.
And on that note,
session's over.
I want to know what time it is on Mars.